Welcome back. Today I am sharing my third card in the beautiful autumn leaves bundle and actually elements of the suite. Today's card is really fun. It is a Funfold bookmark card, and I really had fun making this one. So we will get started. First of all, I took a piece of cardstock, which was 8.5 by 5.5. I'm fumbling around for my ruler and I don't see it. So I cut this up diagonally at 2 inches, if I recall, all the way up to the corner where I scored it at 4.25. Gosh, get it right, girl. 4.25. And then I cut this little piece of peacock cardstock to fit right here on the front. All right, so that's what I did. And first thing I want to do is emboss it. So I'm going to bring in my cutting and embossing machine. I'll try to zoom out a little so you can see what I'm doing. And for this, I'm only using the one plate and the specialty plate. And I'm using the distress tile embossing folder, which is a part of this suite. And we're going to have to do it twice. So usually I run my embossing folders through the machine with the fold going into the cutting machine, but for this card I am breaking that rule and I'm going to do it sideways. And the reason I'm doing that is it will become apparent in a minute. Basically because I want it, because this is sideways. So yeah. Anyway, there we go. Putting it in. Putting my plate on top. Let me square it up. There we go. And I'm going to run it through. And now I want to run through that pretty peacock piece through. So see how that just did that square. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera. I'll show it better in a second. Now I'm going to run the pretty peacock piece through. I don't know why I can't get that open. There we go. And it doesn't really matter where you put it, but you do want to put it square with the edges, so that because this is a horizontal vertical design. There we go. And so now I'm putting the fold up there like I said I like to do, which keeps your embossing folders from cracking. And really I've only ever had one crack on me, and it was used a lot by my stamp club, so that could have had something to do with it. All right, now while I have this out, I want to go ahead and cut out my leaves. And the leaves are from the dies, which I'll show in a minute. There's some beautiful dies. And they give you two, for these leaves, which are really pretty, they give you 2 of each design. And they also have like a little embossing element to it. My stamp club ladies were like, oh, what'd you do to get that? And actually it just does it for you. So it's totally cool. All right, so I'm going to use 2 of the pretty peacock pieces from the autumn cardstock or designer series paper, which will be available starting next week, because they're sadly out of stock right now, but they'll be in next week. And so yeah, you can order it then. Now sometimes these stick, and so if you just take a little pokey tool, take a pick tool, or I've even used bamboo skewers that I have for making shish kebabs, which I don't hardly make shish kebabs, but I sure use those skewers for a lot of things. So yeah, I'm kind of weird that way. Just a toothpick, just anything pointy will work. All right, so I did the peacock, and now I'm going to use, this is that beautiful autumn paper. But I'm using the really pretty flip side, which has all this copper, copper embossed specialty paper. It's really pretty, which I couldn't even really tell from the catalog that that was copper embossed paper until I got it, and I just fell in love with that paper. So pretty. All right, so I'm going to get this out of the way. We are done with it. And once again, they sort of stuck, so throw that in my box. And oh, there's my pokey tool. Just gonna poke them out. So that's green. And the copper clay. Not sure if that green is old olive or what. Let's see, it says right here. It's Mossy Meadow. Yeah, it says right here. All right, Mossy Meadow. That's what I thought it was. All right, and so by the way, these are the dies right here, and there's just so many different options. You can cut out the big leaves, put veining in them, or just use that for little extra stuff. There's little leaves, and then the frames, and then this pretty little embossing element, which I put on one of my cards today. I think I've used almost all the dies today on the 3 different cards that I made. So we are now ready to rock and roll. So first of all, I'm going to take this piece, and it was already scored, so I'm going to Mountain Valley fold it. So fold it there and fold it there. And then I'm going to take this peacock piece and put it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to glue that down. Now don't get ahead of yourself. You want to stay with me on this. And you'll see why in a minute. All right, there's that. I'm going to glue this piece down. I mean, you wouldn't have to, but it'd be sort of flopping around otherwise, so I did. Now here's where you need to just be a little careful. This is a pocket, so you don't want to glue the whole thing. What I did was I took some sticky strip and laid it along the bottom as close to the edge as possible to maximize your pocket. And so the reason I use the sticky strip is because it's a 1/4 of an inch wide. You really don't want to use 1/2 inch adhesive here, or even glue, because the glue could ooze out. Although some of my ladies actually did use glue from my stamp club, and it worked for them, but I think they were pretty careful. I'm not sure I could be that careful. All right, so you see it's just a 1/4 inch there, and now I'm going to fold it over to make my pocket. Now before I put it on my card backing, which is very vanilla, this will go on here, but before I do that, I want to put my ribbon on. Now I used this beautiful copper ribbon from the Copper and Natural Ribbon Combo, which unfortunately is not available until October 23rd. I hate it when I do that. I show all these cards at Stamp Club and you can't even get it, but a backup would be this copper clay ribbon that is available, and it would look quite pretty. So you could do the same thing. But since I have this, I'm going to show it, and what I like to do is I think I'll put some more sticky strip on this. There really isn't a flip side to this, so put a little sticky strip on both ends since this matches the width of this ribbon. And what I'm going to do is wrap it around the back. So that's why I'm doing this. And And I'll take it off, hopefully. Get this off. I don't know how well, yay. How well it works on ribbon, but it looks like it worked. Take the other side off. You could use glue also for this, but you kind of have to wait a little while for it to dry. I'm not totally sure. I'm going to get this sticky strip off this side. But I did. Yay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this here and center it. And wrap it around. Darn, that sticky strip came right up on my little finger. Of course it did. Fine. Let's try that again. Maybe I'll try this side and then stick that on there. There we go. Very funny. All right, let's line this up. Now this is probably sticking to the, nope, okay, yay. Oh, except for that's in the wrong place. Well, it doesn't have to be on there real good because once I glue it on, it'll be just fine. Which I better do right now before it gets away from me. So I will do that. I like to use a little extra glue when something's embossed so that it gets in the cracks and sticks. So there we go. Okay. All right, so I can go ahead and do my leaves next, which I'll use glue for. You could also use glue dots. Since my glue is, well, they're both pretty handy, but I'm just going to use glue. I thought the peacock looked pretty up top, kind of catty corner to that peacock, and then I'll do the bottom one next. So do the top and the bottom, or you could do the bottom and the top, and then do the middle one. So there we go, and the reason is you can get a better spacing on the middle one than just guessing. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is, let's see, I wanna line that up pretty good. Is the bookmark. Get this out of the way. And I used the sentiment from, I don't even have the stamp set handy, but it's really nice for a bookmark. Can't even think, I think it's Love and Hope or something like that, I don't know. But it's in the main catalog, and it's got some really nice sentiments, and it works really nice on a vertical style card. Just making sure it's inked up well, and I want to stamp it towards the top because I'm going to put a leaf down at the bottom. So that looks good. And I'm using a memento for that. And this piece of paper, by the way, is 1 1/4 by 4. It's like, yeah, 4 inches. 1 1/4 by 4, and then this is the back of it, and it's 1.5 by 5. And then the way 1.5 by 5, and then I use this tri-corner punch, I think it's called. Very Best Trio, sorry, my bad. Very Best Trio punch is in the main catalog, and that's how I did this top of the bookmark. And when you use it, you want to cut it and then flip it like this and cut the other side. And then I use this to cut there. So that's how I did it. And I'll go ahead and glue it down. Now don't go away because I have something to show you at the end of the video. There it is, and I have this little piece of ribbon that I tied into the top. And for that I just did a little half knot. And there you go. And you could take your scissors. Use my sewing scissors for my ribbon because, well, I can't find my good Stampin' Up! Ones right now. That's why I'm using these. I only use them for fabric. So I try to have ribbon that, or scissors that I only use for ribbon, and then scissors that I use for paper, because when you cut paper with your scissors, they're gonna dull. So here I am down in the basement and I have my fabric scissors. So look at that, that fits right in there. My little pocket, and how cute is that? All right, so there's that card. What I wanted to show you is if you order in the month of September and use this hostess code here, and I'll put it in the description of the video, there's my website. I will send you, if you place a $50 order, I will send you one of these cards for free, either this card or this card. And that's, I used it, the Autumn Suite, to make those. And if you place a $100 order, I don't know which one I like better. I thought they both turned out pretty cute. I'll probably do a video on these, but not today. If you place a $100 order, I'll give you this beautiful mantle card that says, "I'm thankful for all you do." And that's also using that beautiful autumn paper, and it sits up really nicely. And it does fold up and fits in a invitation size envelope. So there you go. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, support me. I'd really appreciate it. Have a good day.